Hello, Gemini. Welcome, welcome. It's very good to have you here, one of my favorite signs. Yes, welcome to your 2020 general life reading. It talks about money, work, love, personal development, hopes and wishes, what you're leaving behind, New Year's resolutions. Pretty much everything can be taken from this spread. It's basically a Celtic cross that covers, the next year. And yeah, and that's it really. If you have a Gemini sun, moon, rising, this may be more poignant for you. Or if you have your ruling planet in Gemini or something like that, or your Gemini's on your midheaven, it will show you how, your outside world is developing. If you're concerned about your career, reputation, you'd look to, and you have your 10th house ruled by Gemini, which would make you a Virgo rising, I think. I'm probably wrong. I think it might make you a Sagittarius rising, actually. I don't know. But check it out. Definitely 10th house placements will be looking at your career. So that might be worth watching the videos for that. It's good to see that your card has come out here, and I did definitely get the feeling that you're coming back into yourself, Gemini. I think you've kind of wandered off the beaten track a little bit. You've wandered off into the wilderness, and it's time to kind of bring things back to you, making yourself a focus, remembering your dreams. You could have been going down a path, following your heart, thinking, okay, if I keep going down this path with Eight of Cups here, there may have been some experiences that you've had, but you may feel to yourself, if I keep coming down this path, I feel like I'm moving further and further away from some sort of truth here with the Tower card. It could also mean as well that you've been on a long journey, and you are to expect a big surprise on that journey with the Tower card here. It may feel as if everything that you once knew, relied upon, sought comfort in, believed in, and maybe even ideas that you lived by are kind of being thrown all out the window. You may also be, this could also be, where you're moving out of home, and you're striking out on your own, and you're kind of, in a way, kicking your parents out, in a way. That's what I'm getting here as well. So for some of you, you could be moving out, moving from home, your usual comforts of, the fridge always being full and never having to worry about the light bill, or so many things that make the house run. I feel like you're striking out on your own for some of you, really kind of, and that might be where the coming home to Gemini thing is coming from. You're kind of coming back to yourself. You are now the authority in your life. You're now in charge of your life as well. I'm getting that as well. That you now make the rules, and your rules may look a lot different to the rules that you once lived by, or to your parents' way of living. You're doing things your way, which is really good. And the Star card being your focus shows that you are now kind of dreaming big and thinking about your future and making plans for that. And I think for you at this point, especially at the beginning of the year, the first few months of the year, you will be thinking like the future looks bright. That's what you probably will be thinking. Again, with the Four of Cups here, it's suggesting that there was this dissatisfaction with what was being offered. Again, going down a road, searching for love, searching for nourishment, happiness, peace, and love, even if it's friendship love or just happiness. It looks like that maybe opportunities were missed, or nothing came about that you thought was worth taking on. Just being quite dissatisfied really with what was being offered to you, and that's what maybe is pushing you forward here to just go ahead and start making your own rules. Maybe you've been taking advice from other people about how and what you should do, or maybe you've been telling yourself for too long that there's only certain things or certain people that you can be interested in, or date, or Only certain options are available to you. You may have been limiting yourself as well. Kind of being maybe too specific, possibly as well, with what you want. Being too much of a, oh, it has to be exactly this. That could have, I mean, in the one hand, it could have benefited you to keep on holding out for this far-reaching goal. But on the other hand, you could have been turning down opportunities that could have been in some way fruitful. But that's probably only for some of you, because the Tower card and the Star card and the Ace of Cups here in a row lets me know that there's positive changes happening for you and your future. And it will require you to accept, you know, what does not make you happy anymore, and really get to grips with that. Or accept where maybe someone is not coming forward. Maybe you've been waiting for someone to come back to you, or to come forward, or to give you the emotional satisfaction that you know you deserve within a relationship. This could also be with work or anything. This dissatisfaction has what was I going to say? this dissatisfaction has kind of made you go in the search for what it is that does make you happy. And I think I was saying you just need to get really clear on what it is that you don't want, and then move towards what it is that you do want. And you may find that it's a real revelation when you are really honest with yourself and take that time on your own to really think about what is it that really makes me happy. And it may be something, like I said, that no one is expecting, and maybe not even you're expecting. Something very, very different, but very true, very honest, very pure. Seems to be grounded in love here. In your environment, you have a lot of love around you. Family could be a good source of comfort for you this year. There will be new love. It looks like you'll be falling in love this year, or someone will be falling in love with you, with the Ace of Cups in your environment. We do see you here. This could also mean stardom as well for some of you. You could be becoming famous, possibly as well, or finally getting that break. That could be what the Tower card is about. You know, finally getting that break, breaking into the industry. The Empress card here, you obviously are viewing yourself to be, sorry about that, to be abundant and fruitful. And the Empress also draws from the wells of love within. You know, she doesn't really seek out satisfaction from others. She will just focus on what makes her happy. Okay, I like flowers and I like this, I like that. That's how she thinks. So I'm going to just get these things and put them in my world and make myself happy in a way. But she wouldn't expect, it's like she, you know, beauty and love become her. Nourishment become her. She becomes her own source of satisfaction. You know, she's really kind of an empress, right? She's mastered her world. The Empress definitely knows. She is about desire. You know, she is related to Venus and Libra and Taurus. And it is about knowing your own self-worth as well. Knowing that regardless of who rejects you or who doesn't is not a reflection of your value or your worth. That, you know, beauty is in the eye of the beholder as well. But I feel that you really will grow in your self-love. Even if you have had challenges in the past, I feel that you will love yourself better than maybe anyone else can love you. And that's really the goal, is to be able to love yourself even more. You know, show yourself even more compassion, forgiveness, understanding, you know, sympathy, maybe not too much sympathy. But just understanding and patience. Showing yourself all of these things was going to greatly bring in a lot of love into your life, that you will have choices to make with the Seven of Cups here. You may feel overwhelmed with the amount of attention that you get or opportunities that you get. How, you know, I think you're hoping that as you embark on this new life, which I'm kind of getting here, these new dreams, or focusing more on these long-held dreams, or future, future-focused dreams and wishes. As you focus on these things more opportunities come into you, and you are going to want to make the right choices. This is very much about your dreams. So you're kind of breaking out of a mold, breaking out of a box that you may have put yourself in. You're definitely expanding. And you're just wanting to make sure that you don't get too caught up in the hype or too lost in the sauce, as they say, where everything looks good. I want all the ice cream flavors. You might just indulge, especially with the Empress and the Seven of Cups here. And even the Two of Coins does talk about not wanting to have to choose one between the other. But your overall advice here is the Gemini card, is to get in touch with that part of yourself that makes good decisions. And the Lovers card talks about looking to the angels, looking to your higher self for confirmation and answers, rather than following the desires of maybe people around you, or your more lower nature of satisfaction right now. You are, not just choosing, okay, I like this, I like all the ice creams, so I'm going to have them. It's like the higher self would say, well, you don't want to eat too much sugar, or, you've got these high hopes to get into that bikini, I don't know, for this, film that you're in, if you're going to be a star or something. And it's a case of, is it really best for you? And what are you, the body is a creature of habit. So, what are you really training your body to become? So your higher self would really make you question whether or not whatever decisions you're making are in alignment with your goals, with what it is that you do truly love, which may sometimes require you to abstain from having immediate pleasure. Okay, so yeah, I'm getting that with the Lovers card. But the beautiful thing is, though, it is the Lovers card. So this year you will have options, whereas maybe before you may have felt like options that were presented to you just were not good enough or didn't pan out how you wanted to. I don't feel like 2019 was the best year, I think, with the Four of Cups here, with regards to love. Just not really getting what you want, and then coming into the year with the Eight of Cups, it's like you've had enough of 2019. You want to do things completely different now. So you may change your look completely. You may change so much that you may not be recognizable. So this is about a year of overhaul as well. It wasn't intended to be a love reading, but with the Ace of Cups here, and also the Eight of Cups and the Lovers card, it kind of lets me know that this year will have a strong theme of relationships, love, you having to make choices, someone offering you a cup. Again, I don't think you're short of admirers, and I don't think you have been throughout 2019. It's just not what you want. And the Ace of Cups here, I'm hoping that this Ace of Cups is representing that, okay, this is a cup worth your time. But you will have offers. And in fact, you may even find luck in love. You could meet soulmates, or just have lucky encounters with people who maybe support you in your self-love journey, if that's what's happening here, that really boost your self-esteem and self-love and healing as well. But your heart space will definitely be more open. Yeah. And you may even just make more new friends. But there's a beautiful opportunity for a new beginning in love in your environment. So there's someone in your environment, maybe they're a water sign or an Aquarius, Cancer. Cancer's come through fairly strong. A Cancerian person. maybe interested. Maybe we've got Scorpio and we've got Pisces as well. So it could be a water sign maybe for some of you. We've got Pisces here again, and well, Pisces twice and a little bit of Cancer here again. So yeah, maybe it's a Pisces or Cancer or just a water sign. With the Two of Pentacles, as to what you can definitely expect this year, there may be a change in finances. You may be juggling finances. You could also be making a decision to make a commitment between one direction and another. So you may still this year be juggling between two or different avenues as to how you're going to move forward, maybe with regards to work and this long-held dream that you have. Maybe it's to do with your career. But you will still feel there'll still be a lot of options for you to play with. And I think that you are going to have a lot of fun with choices. To be honest, I mean, Gemini and Libra are known to be about choices, decisions, and things like that. So I think you're actually going to kind of enjoy the fact that you have these choices. It's better to have choices than none, and I think you definitely see the benefit of that. It could also be another job or revenue in stream that takes off for you, and you now have kind of two jobs to deal with. You've got your 9 to 5, but then you've got this other job that you have that is more closer to who you are, and your genuine kind of self. So it may feel like you're being more genuinely creative or expressive, and you feel like you can really lend yourself personally to the projects. Like it feels very much true to yourself, and something that you could do all day, every day, probably with your eyes closed or without even gaining that much payment. You know, you seem to be driven to do something where you are appreciated as well. Do something where you yourself can be recognized. You could also be looking for a new job, and I think that you will find it. You may even find a job maybe in the health caring professions, helping people, healing people. Yeah, so it could be that you do find this new job and it's very personal to you, and you may be very new at it. You may need to learn a lot first before you can really start to or study something new or be prepared to learn something physical. So it could be like maybe you need to dance, you know, if you're going to be a star, you need to learn how to do this physical thing as well. But I feel there will be new money coming in for you as well. So we've got the Lovers card as the overall advice, which is to make sure your decisions are in line with your true heart's desire and your long-term goals, and not to make rash decisions based on how you feel in the moment, but to give it some thought and to appreciate exactly fully what's being offered to you, really taking on board everything, the full outcome of taking either or, you know, one of the options. So we've got the High Priestess and the Moon card, right, with the Nine of Swords. So yeah, we are looking at you needing to kind of connect your intuition, knowing yourself, being in the flow of things, reading the signs, you know, tapping into maybe your more psychic self, and just being more intuitive. There could be a lot of fears that come up this year with the Moon card. There could be a lot of unknowns, especially with the Seven of Cups. But again, use your intuition. It may keep you up at night, but it's saying here that if you know yourself, you know what you like, what you don't like, where you're going, where you're coming from, and you're clear on where you stand currently. And you use your intuition that this shouldn't happen. You shouldn't experience this Nine of Swords energy. You could go over to the dark side, which is represented here by this pillar of being negative, worrying about what could go wrong, thinking the worst. Like, you're being asked to remain as impartial as you can or unemotionally involved as possible, and kind of stand between these two pillars and have that kind of middle energy of, or even middle pillar energy, as you might be familiar with, but have that middle energy of being balanced within yourself. So don't become too over emotional this year when making decisions, or too worrying, but just whatever feels right as well. And after connecting to the higher power, the creator, your guides, whatever it is, or maybe it's just your own personal inner higher self. It could be connecting to your own subconscious. They say your subconscious has all the answers. And if you think about it, it does, because sometimes you can actually drive all the way to work and actually only become conscious when you get like well into the journey that you've got so far, because your subconscious knows everything and is watching. And so you may just be tapping into those answers, tapping into yourself within to see what decisions are best for you, what path is best for you. So there'll be big decisions this year, I think, for you. And the moon card is saying here as well that if you do find that you really don't know what to do and you feel very confused or stressed out, that you're to paint, you're to dance, you're to sing, you're to do something creative here with the moon card. Don't overthink it. Instead, express yourself somehow. Maybe you need to, this could even be, to me, with the moon card, like doing something funny, fun, ludicrous, just being wild and having fun and not worrying so much. But you have to kind of get that pent up energy, that nervous energy that sometimes Gemini can have. You need to kind of like release it somehow. Okay, and that will be through, like I said, and it could even be, well, like I said, sorry, dancing, singing, drawing, painting, acting silly, having fun, going to a comedy show. But it could also be, what was I going to say? Oh, I forgot what I was going to say, but yeah, it is about again finding that middle ground, not getting too, remembering the journey, the path. It's also become apparent to me in this card. But yeah, there may be some fears that come up, which is only natural when you have the Tower card and the Star card, in the same reading, and the Lovers card. Yes, it's going to be some stressful times, but this is actually teaching you a lesson in listening to your intuition. You'll become a much better decision maker by the end of the year, and you may be committing to a long-term relationship as well, or a relationship period this year. You may even see yourself as a wife. Love is definitely being offered to you here. So if there is someone here kind of offering something, it looks like it is true love as well. But you need to figure out what it is that you want, so that you can make decisions that are in line with that, rather than just doing what feels good for now. Okay, so having to give some more thought to decisions, especially when it comes to partnerships. Yeah, Three of Coins. Overall, this will be a year of collaboration. Putting yourself out there. You may be having to explain your ideas to people who just don't get it as well. You might be like, okay, this is my grand idea, and they might be like, I don't see that working. So you may have people question you, about, okay, so how do I do that? So for instance, if you are in the industry of celebrity, or you're some sort of performer, you may have a vision for the set, and you've got to get everyone on board and explain to them what your vision is. So that could be a challenge, working with people, having to understand people, how they communicate, so you can communicate clearly with them. A lot of decisions may be left down to you as well, if this is your kind of situation where you will be the head of things. So yeah, and we do have the Emperor here as well, which does again confirm that you will be the boss this year in some capacity, probably more to do with work, but definitely the authority in your own life. And we've got the Emperor and the Empress and the Ace of Cups. So I think you will be meeting your match this year. Maybe you'll be meeting them when you're, you know, working on your larger dreams. Yeah, and you may feel like you're just not used to taking this kind of action and putting yourself out there with the Eight of Swords, but with the Eight of Swords, you're always advised to do something. Don't stand there and do nothing, because then you'll never know if you're wrong or right. Even if you end up being wrong about something, it's better that you do take action and not to kind of get an analysis paralysis, as we do see here with the Nine of Swords as well. So yeah, reaching for the stars this year, Gemini, which looks lovely. Star card at the center of the reading with the Ace of Cups and the Lover's card. It's probably going to be a good year. Okay, we keep getting flexible. It's coming through for quite a few people. Keep getting between worlds as well, and time to go. So it looks like this is a year where we're supposed to take action. Everyone's supposed to follow their deeper knowing, because I keep getting the same cards. Then we've got fork in the road. How fitting. Fork in the road is all about that decision. What road are you going to take? So that's the overall energy for the year, is making sure your decisions are in line with where it is you want to go. You'll be given many options. You'll be given many opportunities to make decisions that could be long lasting. And it may also be advices to also think to yourself, if you were to make a decision in one way and you could not have the other decision, the other option, what would you be losing? How would you feel? Could you live with that as well? So really thinking things through. But you will have a deep knowing about things as you kind of move in between these worlds, because there is a new world that you're entering into, one where you are have more autonomy in your life generally, and again, be wearing a crown, shining, bringing color and creativity into your life and maybe into other people's lives. Time to go. It's time to move forward. There's no time left to stay in the Eight of Swords energy and to think about it and to mull over and to even maybe feel a bit sorry for yourself there with the Four of Cups and be thinking, why me? Now it's time to go out and get what is yours and not wait for it to come. Okay. Even though the Empress definitely does wait for things to come, but I think this is more talking about your self-love and being grounded in who you are and being unwavering there will aid you greatly this year. And then we've got flexible as well. So yeah, maybe Spirit is asking you to be flexible this year, to be ready for change. Okay, so when you are making decisions, don't be afraid of the unknown. Again, be flexible. Be flexible. Don't be narrow-minded this year. Think about what all the different possibilities and outcomes. Be flexible in your thinking. Be flexible in your decisions as well. Try something new. It's time to go and experience new things. So that was quite a short reading, but that is your reading. I'll be back throughout the year with your monthlies, so I hope to see you there. Take good care. I love you all. Thank you so much for your support over the year or years that you've been following or subscribed to me. I do appreciate it. Okay. All right. Take good care. I love you. Bye.